What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Pretty Spectacular Football Show, the special edition. This is called The Living Room, if you can't already tell. But as you know, we're going to get into all things football as I do every week. I'm so excited to have my special guest on here. We're going to dive into some amazing things. As you know, tonight's game plan, as I always tell you guys, we have the Audible Alerts coming in. I'm going to give you a little preview of what we're doing with the mock draft, just a little bit. It's called the Way Too Early Predictions for the Mock Draft. We're going to get into some football history because I always got to teach you a little something. And then I have a very, very special guest coming in at the end, and we're going to have the ladies' room. So I'm super excited to get into this. So before I start talking about my Audible Alerts, I do have to welcome in my special guest, which is my previous co-host. I had to kick him off the show, y'all. But Dr. Speck is back. So he is here with me. Super excited. Welcome to the living room. Welcome back to the show. Super excited to have you. And we're about to dive into some Audible Alerts. Are you ready?
I am ready.
It's been a while.
It's been a minute.
You know, I had to kick you off your own show.
Hey, look, I'll be honest with you. Kickoff is wild, but anyway, but I will say that you've been holding it down, right?
Of
so
course.
just kind of doing your own thing.
Yeah.
We kind of had, I want to say the vision has changed just a little bit because with you taking over the set and you doing your thing, I just think it gives it a whole lot more, you know, kind of the work. But I'm happy to be back today. But I'm also very happy to lay it in your lap.
Yeah. Okay. So if I know you've watched the show, but of course we introduced it. This first segment is called the Audible Alerts. This is where we give the updates and things that are going on in college football as well as NFL. Doesn't change every week. I have to tell you what is going on because if you're not watching and if you don't pay attention, like I was out the loop for like a whole week for my birthday. So now I'm here. So Audible Alerts, we're going to start off talking about college football top 25. As we know, it changes every week. So it gets a little crazy sometimes. Texas is still holding strong at number 1.
Yeah.
Then surprisingly, we have Oregon at number 2, Penn State number 3, Ohio State at number 4. I feel like they've been in that area of number 4 for a while now. Georgia is number 5. And then you have Miami at 6, Alabama at 7, LSU at 8, Iowa. I'm surprised by that one. That's my surprise pick there. Iowa at 9, and then Big Clemson, not the little one, at number 10. So they've been working their way up the top 25 since the beginning of the season. Would love to know your thoughts about that.
So if I kind of, I would say from the beginning of the season, you look at what Texas was going to bring to the field, right? Even with Quinn Ewers, even when he's been down, having Archie come in and really do his thing, right? Like Archie come in and do his thing, like that. I feel like that team has so many weapons across the board, and plus stable quarterback play. Yeah, right?
Like 2. Like it's not a. You really don't get to see 2 teams that have, like, not 2 teams, 1 team that have 2 quarterbacks to be boom, boom, boom. It's just. It's they're and then coming into the SEC this year, people were like, oh, they're not going to do anything in SEC, you know, Georgia, and now they're on top.
Yeah, and I feel like I didn't feel that same way them going into the SEC. I didn't feel like they would not be able to compete only because last year they were at the very top, right, of all college football, and so when you looked at that, I thought they would come in and add strength to SEC because they've kind of been. I would say after the whole Nick Saban thing, maybe not as dominant, right? Yeah. Like as they were in previous years. So as I look at the SEC, it's kind of lost some of its allure, but with adding Texas back, right? Yeah. You add in a team that's adding Texas to that fold. You add in a team that's really going to keep them up. You look at LSU. I like looking at that team.
Of course.
Right. They're kind of up there. I feel like LSU. Them being in the top 12 is good, right? I don't feel like they're contenders for it. I think they're a little bit slightly pretenders if you're really being honest.
You think that them being at 8 right now, or no, 7. 7, no. Were they 8? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Number 8?
Yeah.
No, you guys, I have to count. Them being at 8, you think that's a fluke? You think they're going to fall off?
I do. I just don't believe in their defense.
Okay.
So I don't see them. I mean, I don't see them making a big statement once it's playoff time, right? So I don't see that. However, who I do see really continuing to do what they've been doing all season long is Miami.
Oh, I was
I'm gonna say Miami
Georgia.
Because of
I love Miami.
Yeah,
I think that when I saw that, I'm like, wait, where's Miami? They're sitting at number 6. I was like, I got to put Miami in there because I was just gonna do top 5. But like, you can't. How can you talk about? In my opinion, I feel like Miami's going to win the ACC, even though it's going to be a hard Clemson team to beat. I feel like Miami can win the ACC. I feel like Texas can win the SEC. Ohio State can, win their conference. And that's really where I am. Like, who do you think is going to the Natty? Too soon to tell, but who do you think is going to the Natty?
I'm going to say Texas for sure. Right? I would go Texas for sure. And then, can I believe in miracles?
Yes, you can.
Can I? No, I feel like the best quarterback play gets you where you want to be.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
That's why I'm going with Miami. And I may be wrong.
Great answer.
I may be wrong.
I've been saying, I feel like the top two in my head, every time I think about it, is Miami and Texas. And that's
okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I think it's going to be, I know it's too soon to tell, but I think that's going to be like the tale of all, like Miami, they're back. They're so back. They're back. All right. So
that's why I'm going with it. If I have to go anywhere, I'm thinking those two teams. I would have before I want to say the Georgia-Alabama game.
Yeah.
Right? I probably would have put Georgia in that
I would have
spot.
said Georgia too, but I feel like Georgia's always one of them too. Like, you can't sleep. They're like the Chiefs. You can't sleep on them because it don't matter. They're always going to come back.
Yeah.
Okay. Going into NFL, we have gain or bust. Do you think that the trade for Davante Adams and futuristically will be a gain or will it be a bust?
I think the trade for Davante Adams will be, I've got to say a gain.
Okay.
I want to, and here's why I would say
they got a full wide receiver room though.
They do have a full wide receiver room, but they can recoup some of that stuff back if they get rid of Mike Williams. Right?
Okay.
So you have Mike Williams, and if you find a way to get rid of him, and there's takers right now, right? You find a way to get rid of him, you can at least recoup something back. I think they gave up a third that's a conditional 2, or is it a fourth that's a conditional 3?
Yeah.
Right? It's one of those two. And so I feel like they gave up some stuff, but I think if you're going to make the big investment in Aaron Rodgers work, then you got to go out and get what he wants. If he wants... if he wants Davante Adams, he wants all his friends back.
Right.
They go and get him. Now, what I don't like is the Robert Saleh situation, right?
Yeah, I wasn't too fond of that. I know I spoke about it on the last show. I just didn't like the way that they did that. Come into work and you fired me on my day. Like, I'm here at work, and then you got to remove me from the premises. You got to escort me off. So I mean, I get it. Another thing I want to know, like, Amari Cooper has a new home once again. Do you think it's going to be a bust or a gain?
That's a big gain, right? And I don't see any, like, okay, the thing in New York, that could not work.
Yeah.
Right? For some reason or another, that could not work. Even if you bring the whole gang back together, they're kind of down right now.
Yeah.
In the long run, it may not work if Aaron gets hurt or something weird like that, right? However, in this other situation, I don't see a place where it doesn't work. Amari Cooper isn't somebody who comes in and causes any trouble. He's not somebody who comes in and causes any issues with the quarterback. I think the reason that Diggs didn't really work the way it was supposed to work is because of the combativeness of Diggs, right? Mm-hmm. And you've seen Cooper be in Cleveland when they're not doing well and still not trip out on Deshaun Watson or anybody. He's not making news. He's not making headlines, and he's not making memes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so if Cooper can go in and just be a I want to say elite, but not below an elite wide receiver. If he goes in and just be a contributor, then he is going to do well. And I can't see that being bad for them, and they didn't have to give up too much to get it.
Pivot in a way. I know we're sitting and we're talking about gains or busts, but now I want to talk about QB index. So I'm going to say 4 quarterbacks, and I want you to give me your immediate thoughts on these quarterbacks. We're going to talk about them a little bit more. It's a very specific reason why these quarterbacks are in my top. Not even top. They're not top because they're not top, but they're in this conversation. And that you said, like, quarterback play is, it's not really where it needs to be right now in the NFL. So
yeah, it's not.
I want to talk about it. Okay, because these are names that people aren't talking about enough, in my opinion.
Okay.
So, Jordan Love.
So, Jordan Love, I would say, beast I didn't see coming. And I'll tell you why. I did see what he did last year, and he did, look good.
Yeah.
I didn't know if that was going to carry over into his next year.
Was it a fluke? Was it a playoff fluke? Like, I'm just in the playoffs and I'm just here. I'm having a good time.
Yep.
Yeah, but he got hurt, came off, like, never missed a beat, went right back into it, and now he's playing lights out. Phenomenal.
Yeah, he's really looking good.
Yeah. Okay, Sam Darnold.
Beast I didn't see coming. and here's the reason why. Like, Sam Darnold, not only is Sam Darnold doing what no NFL fan saw coming, right? No Vikings fan, nobody who watched him with the Panthers or watched him in any other place, right?
Okay.
Nobody saw this coming, but he is doing increasingly well, right? Right now, passer rating at 85.1, right?
Last season,
2023, I think.
Last season. So last season, and that's the thing. That's the thing. He did the Meek Mill's like, hold on, wait a minute. Y'all thought I was finished. Like 80, you got an 85.1 passing yardage in 2023, and you didn't expect him to come in and play lights out. That's crazy. Right now,
I'm gonna tell you why though.
But
you can okay. I'm gonna mention the 85.1, right?
I mean,
and last year, but even then, he's still in a system. Right?
Okay.
He's in a system that I think that he's doing a little bit better than you expect, but he still wasn't great last year.
I feel like he works in that Viking system.
He works in the Viking system,
obviously,
and he works with the weapons, and nobody saw the relationship between him and Justin Jefferson being what it was.
Yeah, and but they've like I've said like before, they've been building a team and crafting something that's just very beautiful, which is why I didn't expect them to come in and like be completely horrible. I knew that the Vikings were going to do something. I just didn't know what exactly they were going to do.
Yeah.
But Jordan Love and Sam Darnold are both within the top 20 of QBRs right now. As we look at them, Sam Darnold is 15 and Jordan Love is 16. So Jordan Love comes in 57.5 QBR and Sam Darnold has an 58.3. So being in the top 20, I think that's phenomenal. That's lights out to me, especially for them coming in. They're veterans, but I didn't expect them to be this high in the top 20. So another one, this is rookie, Caleb Williams.
Now, Caleb Williams, I really thought would have a decent season.
Yeah, I feel like he's going to be decent, but he didn't start off that way.
He didn't start off that way, right? But I felt like they surrounded him with weapons, right? They go out in the top 10 and you go get Rome Odunze, right? Yeah. You make sure that he has a good running back, and Swift. And I felt like at the bit, you're going to have, I thought he came in with more in stock or more in the cabinets than almost any
all
other rookie.
The teams.
Yeah. So I thought he would do at least a decent. So I saw that one coming. But after his first few performances, I knew it would take him some time.
Yeah, he's 27 right now. 45.4. So
it's not great.
It's not great.
He did look good overseas.
He did. Well, I mean, it's going to work. And the last one on this list is Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott is number 26, just above Caleb Williams, the rookie. That's crazy. And his QBR is 48.5. Quick thoughts on that, though.
Bust I didn't see coming.
You didn't see that bust coming?
No.
Well, he always chokes in the playoffs, so I guess not. But
and this is regular season, so
it is regular season.
But you talked about something on your Locker Talks, right? And I don't know if it's Locker Talks or where you talked about it, but somewhere. You talked about his relationship with CeeDee Lamb, right? And you can see that relationship deteriorating. And it doesn't look like it looked last year. And they're talking back and forth on the sidelines. You can see, even when they interact, it ain't that sweet type of awesome relationship.
The anger and all that is there. Yeah.
And I think it's having a factor into Dak's confidence and also into their relationship.
I get it. Yeah. So, okay. We're going to wrap up Audible Alerts here, but I just want to get your quick thoughts on Atlanta being chosen again for the Super Bowl for 2028. I mean, for my experience, I was a part of the operations team where I helped open up Super Bowl 53, and the Rams were there, the Patriots there too, because that was Tom Brady and the Patriots. Yeah, helped open up that. So I mean, it was really cold. I just remember being cold. It was rainy at one point, freezing. But I mean, it's good that, Atlanta is trying to continue to they have a lot of different sporting events that are going to be happening over the next few years. So I wonder, you're like based out of there in a way. You do a lot of Atlanta-based sports. So tell me just your thoughts on that.
It's a great town to have a big event like that. There's so many things to do around Atlanta, right? And so not only that, but just the vibe of the city is just a place where you want to party. It's like the Super Bowl is a big party, and it's where you want to host.
It's just cold.
It's not always cold. And Atlanta cold isn't
the
like
best of both worlds. You got one going to New Orleans this time. Then the next few years is going to Atlanta. You just get the win. I just want it to be in a warm place again. just warm. Especially because I want to go. Like I'm always going. Like
Atlanta's not that cold.
It was freezing the last time in February. It was freezing.
But I mean, Atlanta's not like Chicago. It's not like we're in somewhere
When have
up
they
north
had the Super Bowl?
Something like
Nobody's
that.
going to Soldier Field. Nobody's going there.
They would. But it's not like they're up north somewhere. You know what I mean? Like
Minnesota, yeah.
I feel like Atlanta's a great place to host the Super Bowl.
Okay, well, I guess we will be waiting to see. But I put this segment in here for you. We're going to move on to our next segment, which is Mock Draft 2025. Way too early predictions. So you love the mock draft. It's something that you love. And I felt like if you're going to come back on the show, why not do something with the mock draft, right? Yeah. So right now, if the draft was to be happening now, like today, the top 5 college football players, you have Travis Hunter, obviously with the Buffs, Shedeur Sanders, Cam Ward, Will Johnson, and Ashton Jeanty. Now, he's a surprise to me. Boise State, I'm like, who talks about Boise State? What is a Boise State? I don't even know. But he's in top 5, right? And if we had top 5 NFL teams right now, it'll be the New England Patriots, the Carolina Panthers, Cleveland Browns, Jacksonville Jaguars, and the Miami Dolphins.
And when you say top 5, you mean like drafting at the top of the draft, right? Yeah.
Draft pick number 1 would go to the New England Patriots. So out of these top 5 players from college, who would you think the New England Patriots are going to pick out of the top 5?
If I got to stay within that, then I would say I'm going Travis Hunter. Like they need help.
You can't win or lose there.
They need help in multiple places. They don't have a superstar wide receiver, and they do have a great cornerback in Christian Gonzalez, right? So to pair him, if you can even get him paired with Christian Gonzalez, if you keep him at corner, you still have 2 really good corners, right? If you bring him on both sides of the ball, which they should, because they need help everywhere, then I would go with Travis Hunter, and I wouldn't think twice about it. And I don't think that Travis Hunter or New England would be off of Dion's approved list.
Yeah, you know that list. Yeah. I feel like all the other teams on this list may be on that disapproved list.
Not Jacksonville.
Well, okay, so that's it. So okay, but Carolina Panthers will be pick number 2. Who do you pick off this list for them?
If I am, if I'm Carolina, then I go with the best quarterback available.
Are you serious?
Yes, ma'am.
You're done with Bryce.
Done.
Bryce is out.
Done.
Andy Dalton is out.
Yeah, done.
What?
I wouldn't think twice about it.
What?
And here's why. You know these rookie quarterback contracts, right? Like
I know.
They're set up in a way where you can move on if you need to. And this is a situation where you need to move on.
Deion is not approving that. He's not approving
Shedeur
going. I'm saying, are you picking Shedeur or are you picking Cam Ward?
I'm picking the best quarterback available for them, and I think that's Shedeur. However, because of the Deion situation, right? Then I may go Cam Ward.
But you got to pick an answer now. Boom.
Then I go Cam Ward. Just because I don't want to deal with the, don't pick my son, whatever, right? I don't want that. So then I would go with, because he will, if he's going to disapprove of any place, it will be Carolina. They've gotten rid of coach after coach after coach, right?
Their GMs
like every single
and
year.
owner are very problematic.
It's ridiculous, and the organization does not run very well. If I'm his father, I don't want him in that situation.
Okay.
So no. I would say I would go Cam Ward. It's not a long trip, right? Not a super long trip.
No.
And I would go get Cam Ward. So that's my pick.
Okay, so first off the board is Travis Hunter, obviously. Second, Cam Ward. So if the Cleveland Browns had to draft somebody from this top 5, who were they drafting?
If I'm the Cleveland Browns, if it's somebody from here.
You got Shedeur, Will Johnson, and Ashton Jeanty.
If I'm the Cleveland Browns, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I go get a quarterback. but
okay.
But I can't. Right?
Well, I mean, we're not talking about perfect world, but if you had fine. If you want to go get another quarterback that's not on this list, who would it be then? Who will they draft? This is your mock draft. Tell me what's on your mind. Cleveland Brown.
For them, I would probably.
Browns.
I would stay on your list. I would go corner if that's the case, right?
Okay.
Go corner.
So Will Johnson.
They can go that. They can go that route.
Okay.
But if I think they should go get a quarterback.
So who though? Who do you think that will fit into that program?
If I'm them, it's so tough. It is because I would want Shedeur. That's where I would go.
Okay.
Right? Like if that's my case,
they got the money. Look at what they got for Watson.
But that's the problem. The Watson problem.
The problem is the money?
Yeah, that's the problem, right? And so,
well, I would be one to argue though. Shedeur, is he going to be good in cold weather in Cleveland? It's frosty up there.
Okay, right now he's in Colorado.
Yeah,
right.
It gets a little frosty there, but
it's super cold there. And so I mean, and he's way up, right? So the what is it? Altitude. Yeah. So he's playing in high altitudes. He's playing in very like non-favorable conditions for NFL players. There's some players who can't even play up there, right? He's doing well in that situation already. I think he'll be great in any cold city. However, if I'm Cleveland, I'm avoiding all the crap. I'm going with the cornerback. I am.
Okay, so Jacksonville Jaguars. Who are you picking?
So if I'm Jacksonville,
I mean, from the list, we have Ashton Jeanty, which is the running back from Boise State, and Shedeur.
If I got still on that list, then I'm gonna go with Jeanty. I'm not getting a quarterback. Right, okay. I have a quarterback already.
Yeah,
I'm going there. So,
but I feel like that could help their run game.
Yeah, I mean they need a running game, even though they have Etienne, who's already there.
But that's one.
But they also have Bigsby, and he's doing pretty okay so far as that backup, right? And so they have some running game, but Jeanty's supposed to be like a game changer. Maybe I go there. I'd look a few different places if I'm them. They need help across the board.
They do,
right? And they do have a great wide receiver room. I would say that. They already have, what's my guy's name? Brian Thomas from LSU. He came in and he's been playing well, right? So what they're missing, I know they need help in a lot of spaces. There's a lot going on with them. I probably go get a new coach, to be honest with you.
Doug is on the chopping block. Okay, so that means Miami Dolphins would then draft Shedeur. Is that your mock draft right now? Is that your mock draft? Are you okay with saying those words out of your mouth, or do you want to leave him in Cleveland?
If I'm them, there's a tackle in LSU that I would go and get. Okay. Right? I would go get the tackle from LSU. Okay. The reason is because Teron Armstead is always going through some stuff, right? But the reason I would pick Shedeur, if I go that route, is Miami? The reason I would is because Tua has dealt with so many concussions, and the prevailing conversation this year is, will Tua play again, right? And so they're hoping that he does come back and he plays well. However, they're hoping that he can even come back and survive the rest of the season, right?
Because how many more hits can you take?
Not many. And so he's one hit away from them calling it, basically. So they probably need to move on. And moving on to a Shedeur in Miami would be so sweet for Dion. I mean, it would be any place in Florida for Dion to be fine, probably for his group. But I think he really wants to kind of leave the situation with Shedeur in a great place. But Shedeur would be in a great place and in a great hands and in a great system.
Yes.
Because if you look at what Tua's doing in that system, it's remarkable.
Okay, so
when he's healthy.
So the mock draft, we got New England Patriots are going to take Travis Hunter. Remember, this is just a way too early mock draft. It's not like a serious one. Too early. We'll do another one. He'll come on the show for sure. But we have New England Patriots with Travis Hunter. The Carolina Panthers are going to take Cam Ward from Miami. The Cleveland Browns are going to go with Will Johnson. Right. And then we have the Jacksonville Jaguars are going to go Ashton Jeanty. And then the Miami Dolphins are going to take Shedeur.
Yeah. And that's because I'm locked in on that.
Trying to stay on the list. Yeah. Okay. All right. So now this next one that we're going to move on to is going to be football history. Yeah. I think it's really important to be able to, you're an educator anyway. We educate, we teach. And again, just bringing some light to the show. So, when we talk about history, Ohio in itself has a lot of football history. That's where the College Football Hall of Fame is, in Canton, Ohio. Cleveland has a lot of history too. Cleveland's actually trying to move out of Cleveland. Like the Cleveland Browns, the mayor's already announced, like the Cleveland Browns want to leave us. They want to go to somewhere more suburban, somewhere else. They want to get out the hood in a way. So Cleveland wants to leave Cleveland, but they have a specific, like we learned today, a specific person that was really imperative and really important in football. So with that, we were talking about the evolution of like black players and coming into the NFL, because we were talking with the team today. We're like, well, in the beginning of time, in the beginning of football, where did these players go after college when they were black players? Where did they go? How did it work? So we were talking about it, and then we found out the very first black pro football player. We're not gonna say NFL because that comes a little bit later, and it was about 1902. That first one that came in was Charles Folis Shelby of the Blues.
Well, it was Charles Folis, and he played for the Shelby Blues.
Okay,
right.
So
and look,
played for the Shelby Blues,
and I don't want to come at
in Ohio. The Ohio League.
Yeah.
And they were in the American, it's the American Football
American Pro Football Association, something like that.
Okay, got it.
So I don't want to come at this from a expert standpoint, right? Because to be honest, like we had this conversation and we were like, it sparked from where did black great football players go?
Yeah.
When it was time, right? Like when they wanted to go pro, where did they go? I think we started talking about the Negro Leagues. Yeah. Right, for baseball.
Yes, and then it kind of
was there a Negro Leagues for football? And the reason I don't believe there was, and if there were, they weren't like a big popular thing.
No.
But the reason there was not a Negro League for football is because there was ways to get in the football.
Charles got in.
Charles got in.
Charles said, "I'm gonna play this game. Y'all gonna have me in here." So him being a player, I believe he was a halfback, being in there, and then
they call him the Black Cyclone.
Yeah. So imagine that.
And his contract is in the NFL Hall of Fame.
Wow.
Yeah. So they actually found it. I want to say around 1975. They went looking for the clues, like who was the first, right?
Right.
So most people, if you go look this up, you'll find Kenny Washington.
Yeah.
Right. And that's kind of who you'll see. And you'll see him. And that's like he's the one credited for breaking the barrier.
Yes, because he was the first black NFL football player.
Yeah,
and then you have Woody Strode, offensive player. He was like 6 foot or whatever.
6'4".
Yeah,
right?
So he came in with Kenny, but when you really see Kenny at first. You see articles and things about Kenny, so that makes it that way. He was also like one of the teammates for Jackie Robinson, and
at UCLA, when they played, right?
So it was kind of like, oh, this is so cool, like just having that history of these players coming in and breaking the barrier, the color barrier, as people call it, to really set the tone and become great athletes who made the way. They I would say Charles probably crawled so that way Kenny and Woody could walk, and so that way Doug Williams and Shaq Harris could run. Bob Hayes could run. And I feel like that's just the evolution of where we are in terms of football, especially for like black athletes. Now we have, majority of the quarterbacks right now are African American. You have some great players: Lamar Jackson, Jordan Love, Patrick Mahomes, C.J. Stroud, Anthony Richardson, Jaden Daniels,
Caleb Williams,
Caleb Williams, Russell Wilson,
Spencer Rattler,
Justin Fields, Spencer Rattler. How many? Was it Deshaun Watson? We don't really want to talk about Deshaun that much, but Dak Prescott.
Yeah, okay.
So there's so many. I've named a lot of them already.
Yeah.
They're black. So like look at how far and how like the way that they've come in so many ways. Like we start off with maybe like one Shelby Blues. He's one of one.
One guy playing with the Shelby Blues. Now, here's the thing that makes this so relevant, right? And I think the reason it kind of came up is looking at, we talked about Negro Leagues for one, and that's kind of how we got there. And what's funny is Buddy, who we were talking about before, actually played for not only the Shelby Blues, right? But he got hurt at a Thanksgiving game, right? And then he went to the Negro Leagues and played baseball. He was the first like Bo Jackson, Deion Sanders at the time, two-sport athlete. So really a dog. And he was like 6 foot. He was 6 foot, 200 pounds. So whatever we're looking for in a current NFL running back, he was already that, right? So dog. However, I think we're talking about this and why it's so relevant is because Michael Vick and Doug Williams and Shaq Harris and all those guys got together to go and create this show on Prime called the Evolution of the Black Quarterback. Yeah. Right? And you mentioned it earlier, like how we got from wherever we were to where we are now is remarkable. And I think the evolution of the black quarterback brings all that history back into the conversation, back into the fold. And people were talking about it like a lot. And I just happened to be there when Michael Vick was talking about it with Doug Williams and Shaq Harris. And you can see just by their conversation, you can hear in their conversation how proud they were to be a part of that story. The unfolding of an opening of a league where, okay, initially we were there, but then there was a period of time where they wouldn't let us play for real. You feel what I'm saying? And then having to re-break the color barrier is what Kenny did.
Right, and now there's a plethora of you really can't have an NFL team without men of color.
Yeah. So I think 50 almost 53% of the league right now.
So over half.
Yeah, is
over half
is African American players, and I mean, you know what it is.
Yeah, I mean, how can how could you not? It's kind of like the thing, like you just can't not talk about it, especially when it comes to this part, because history is definitely important. So we have 15 starting quarterbacks in 2024 that are African American. So
you know what?
I think I named all 15 of them. I made leave one off.
Kyler Murray.
Oh, I love Kyler, baby Yoda. You see him? How did I forget Kyler?
And Geno.
Geno Smith.
Yeah.
Okay. Geno Smith. Yeah, he'd be running.
We had Jacoby in before Drake May took his spot.
Yeah, but I mean, he wasn't a starter, but he is a quarterback in the league.
Yeah.
So I mean, history in a lot of places is definitely important. I think it's super, super duper special to know and understand that history and be able to really see it unfold. And then a lot of these players are also starting to come into the Ring of Honor. And then what Shaq Harris and Doug Williams have done with the Black College Football Hall of Fame and how that's now making a wave and being put into the College Football Hall of Fame and as well as the NFL Football Hall of Fame is just something special.
I'm gonna challenge you.
You challenge me?
Yeah, we missed two.
We missed two.
Yeah.
Okay.
We missed two.
Okay.
And we missed two, and they're close to your heart.
I said you talking about for Pittsburgh? I was saying I listed them already.
You list both of them?
Yes, I did.
No way.
And did.
For real?
Yes.
Okay. Good. I
was like, wait a minute. What are we talking about?
I don't know why I didn't hear Justin Fields.
Because you were talking about Spencer Rattler. That's
why.
Yeah.
That's why.
So,
and I don't even know if I can count Spencer for real.
I mean, yes, you can. He's starting now. Okay. But I think that was a great way to just talk about our football history. And again, we're going to incorporate that more into the show because that, like I said, history is definitely important. But thank you for coming on the show. I mean, don't go anywhere because we're going to take a commercial break. We're going to do, always got to think the Ozell brand because it's not a brand, it's a lifestyle. And after that, I have a very, very special guest coming on for you guys. I cannot wait to have her come sit on the couch. I'm so excited about it. But again, thank you, Dr. Swag, for coming. It's always great conversation every time we get here. Obviously, he's an educator, a super duper sports fanatic, especially football, especially for the Saints. So we will see him again. We will see him again. He's going to come on again, especially around mock draft time.
Yeah.
But without further ado, we're going to go into this commercial break. And then when I come back, it's time for the ladies' room.
It's not just about the love of the game. It's about dedication and commitment through the process and the patience to endure. There's joy in reaching your goals and peace in knowing you've done all you're supposed to do. Ozell brand. It's not just a brand, it's a lifestyle.
As you saw, it's not just a brand, it's a lifestyle. Check out the Ozell brand, sponsors of MTMV Sports. But now we're going to move it on in to the ladies' room, this segment. So I have a very special guest with me, my soror, also my sister in media, V. She has her own show as well called The V Report. And we are going to get into some girl things. Y'all know I love when the girls is on the show. So I get so excited. So especially ones that can come and talk some football with me. So without further ado, we're going to welcome in V. Hi. How are you doing?
I am good. I love your couch.
Thank
it's
you,
so
girl.
comfortable.
It's a little something, okay? But no, let's get cozy on up. Just cozy on up. So, talking about football, but I want to start with us really talking about being women in sports, women in media, especially, also being sports fans. We're both from the North. We have a lot in common. So we're both from the North. I'm from Jersey. She's from New York. But it's like the same thing. We're sisters in sister states. Yeah. Both Yankees fans, both like the Knicks. Even though I'm a Pittsburgh fan, she's a Giants fan. I don't know how that one happened there, but she's true to New York.
As I'm true to New York.
And because I'm from Jersey, I can dibble and dabble a bit. So I want to talk about like let people know who you are, right?
Okay.
You're in sports, you're working in sports. How did this come about?
So my whole sports journey was very unique. I use social media. Okay. I am just a Giants fan at the time, just upset and at my team.
Seems like you might be upset for some time.
Yeah, it's been a long time. I was sad, but at the time Eli was still playing, and we still held Odell Beckham Jr., which is, man, that's how long it's been. Yeah. So I was just on Twitter tweeting, and then someone told me to stop talking. And I was like, what? Like, who are you to tell me what I can and can't do on my Twitter page? But then I was like, at the time, I was also going through like my sports agency stuff. I was like taking the exam, doing all the studying, blah, 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 blah. So then I was like, you know what? I do want to work in this industry. I just don't know how I want to get in it. Yeah. So I just started. I literally tweeted out one day, I want to write for somebody's sports website or something like that. And that's what happened. And like someone DM'd me and said, hey, I have an up and coming site. Would you like to write for it? I'm like, yeah, I went through my credentials. Like I have an English degree, so can I write for you? And that's what happened.
Essentially, yeah.
And went from one website to 15.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. So getting it out there. I mean, being in sports, especially with being a woman in sports, it's a hard venture, especially when it's untraditional. Like, not coming in the traditional route of having like, oh, I have a bachelor's degree in mass comm or something like it's my degree in mass comm. Yes.
Neither is mine.
So it's like it's hard, but it's like a lovely journey, right?
I love it. I wouldn't want it away. I didn't want to do mass comm. I had friends that did mass comm in college. I just that was just drama to me. I looked at it like, I would hate this. Like, I would just hate this every day.
Okay.
The way they were doing it.
Yeah. I feel like it's probably developed a lot more since then. But now...
Well, I'm not that old, girl. I'm not that old.
No, I'm saying, like, in general, like, over the past 2 to 3 years, understanding, like, the change... Everything is digital now. Everything is super duper digital media. Yeah. Mass comm a few years ago was literally just... TV,
just television, yeah.
Sometimes a little bit of radio. So it wasn't as digitized as it is now. That's what I mean. Like it's changed quite a bit, but I don't think that it was something that was absolutely enjoyable way back when. I feel like people that did mass comm then and just strictly did radio or strictly did TV had to now learn new skills just the same way that we had to learn new skills.
I agree 100%.
So we're untraditional, but not really, in a way, because we're learning the same things that they had to learn.
Absolutely. We just learning a different avenue. We had to go through classes. We went through reading and research. So at the end of the day, we all learned the same things, and that's why we all get the same outcome.
Yeah. So we know we're going to have you on the Pretty Playbook podcast. So that's going to be coming up where we get to really dive more into you and we understand who you are. Okay. But obviously, this is football show, so we're talking about all things football.
Let's do it.
So... I mean, New York has 2 teams. They have the Giants and the Jets. How do we? Oh, yes, and the Bills. So how did we get out of those 3? How did you pick the Giants?
Well, I'm originally from New York City. So for me, again, Jets were not it. They were never it. Jets, Mets, Nets weren't me. It's not my people.
Jets, Mets, Nets. I like that.
And the Islanders. It's not my people.
Anything with the X.
Yeah. It just end. Like, just end something. Yeah. Jets, just end the season. Mets must end the season. Nets need to end the season. Yeah, exactly. Okay. So that just wasn't for me. And my family's on the other side of New York. So we're from the Bronx. We're from Mount Vernon. So it's just a better fit. And, like, again, Yankees just made sense. That one was easy. Yeah. But the Knicks, my father was a diehard Knicks fan. Okay. And the one Knick I got to see in person was Patrick Ewing, who became my favorite player of all time. So that's the reason I was like, oh, I'm dying on this hill. Okay. And then that was unfortunately, the same year we lost the finals because all he had to do was dunk the ball instead of just some stupid finger roll thing that took away everything. Yeah. But it's okay. We love him here. We're just going to call it that. But in the Giants, my dad was like, hey, this, you're only here Because they won that game. They're
Oop, there it is.
That's why.
Okay. Well, the Giants this season are not.
Oh, they're not it.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
Okay. I just, I didn't want to like.
It's okay. No,
you
it's
know.
okay. I'm officially accustomed to just being in Giants hell.
Yeah.
So I'm okay.
Yeah. I mean, Pittsburgh does this thing from time to time too. But speaking of just women,
yeah,
I
Big
would.
Ben. Now that's shenanigans.
Right.
So, hey.
Right. For such a long time. So now we're just like in this rebuild, reform space. So just like, okay, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
For women in sports though, like women, I wish that. Well, I don't keep up too much with the Giants because I'm not necessarily a fan. I mean, I do it for here, but it's like coming in, we have so many coaches. I wish Pittsburgh had a woman that was on the coaching staff. The Bills do have that. They do. They brought in plenty of interns that have started there. They also have a woman owner, so that's pretty cool. But just. I don't think the Giants have a woman coach on staff either.
They did not, no.
So, yeah, it's like certain teams have, like Tampa, like for a long time, Tampa Bay had two Super Bowl coaches. One is now with the Titans. So I think that's cool. But, like, what is that feeling for you when you're like, oh, gosh, we got these women that are coaches in sports? Like, now I think this season coming in is at least 10 of them. I think at one time it was about, like, 12 to 15. But there's, like, 10 of them outside of, like, interns and things that are in coaching. Like... I don't know how that feels. Like, it just makes me feel so bubbly inside. I'm like, they're doing like Jennifer King, Callie Brunson. It's just, it's just...
It makes me proud. Like, that bubbly feeling for me is pride. Like, I'm just like, I love the fact that the sport is evolving to the point that we can have women on the teams, on the staff. Like, that's important. We're not just cheerleaders. Yeah. We're also can make impact in the game. So I love just seeing that progression because I cheered for 10 years of my life. And I cheered in college. Just seeing now that there's women that are now making demands, making change, coaching, front office, ownership. That's huge. And as a woman, I love it. And I just love the way that we're progressing.
Yeah. If I was like a Raiders fan, I would be in love right now with Sandra Douglas Morgan there. I would be in love with Christy Coleman. She's the female president for the Carolina Panthers. I know people are like, they suck because of Christy, but it is not Christy's fault.
That's not her fault.
It's not Christy's fault for sure.
You gotta catch the ball and you gotta throw it, huh?
Okay, Bryce Young is the problem. A lot of them,
I'm just saying.
But another thing too, like I really love that I'm seeing more is the actual women's tackle football league. So they have, they have flag. I know the NFL is doing that thing with girls flag, women flag, Mexico doing their flag stuff. But there's actually a women's football association that does tackle football. I low key was like, I can do this. I can try out. I can go be a kicker or something because like I already have the kick technique from dance and cheer. This is perfectly fine.
Okay.
I'm not trying to get tackled. I'm a little scared. I have to admit I'm a little scared. But I've been to a few of these games and I've covered them. I love what they're doing. Did you know about this league? Have you seen games from this league? What do you think about this?
So actually, I've heard a little bit about the league from other different people in the industry having discussions because me personally, I played football when I was young, like Pop Warner. And what took me out was when I got popped. Didn't want to do it no more.
We can do powder puff all day.
I can do powder puff before you tackle me. And now my pride's hurt.
We're done.
Oh, no.
We're done. You talking about you want Big Bertha over there on the O-line coming to tackle me? No. Y'all can kick me out.
I promise
be like water boy and just put me on side.
Yeah. I'm laying there. I'm gonna act like I need an ambulance. I'm not gonna move.
You probably will.
I probably will.
Yeah.
But I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
But I love seeing that we are having women that are interested in playing tackle football.
Yes.
And I've heard about it. Because like there's like the other football leagues that me personally, I'm like that's for more male enjoyment than it is for female enjoyment. But also those are athletes like the lingerie league and things like that. I feel like that's kind of like making a satire of the fact that those women are extremely athletic. Yeah. And then now seeing that there's a tackle league, I love that.
Yeah, they're in like full helmet and pads out there.
They're doing their big ones, which is what
and a lot of them. I know some of them like personally. We're like the same size. Some of them are smaller than me, and I'm like, you're out there in these pads. Like it makes me feel like I can just do anything. That's why I'm like, I can try out. They're actually about to host tryouts and things for their upcoming season. My hometown, well, it's not my hometown, but my home state, New Jersey has a team now. So I'm like, this is so cool. They're like the Waves or something. Like their logo is a woman, but like it's a wave. Her hair is a wave. It's just so cool.
Atlanta, I better see you out there covering it.
You know, I might. I feel like I feel like I need to be there in the know. You know, just wear my stuff. You know, and they got the same color as the Liberty, so that just makes me happy too, because I love the Liberty.
Me too.
In and out.
Oh,
so, yeah.
Me too.
I feel like I can talk about women in sports all day.
Same.
Like,
we're gonna need way more time than we're.
Yes, I know. so much. Okay, so another thing that I really love about sports in general is the fashion. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, this is such a girl's thing, but yeah.
Oh my gosh, no.
It's a girl's thing, but we're gonna talk about. But a lot of the men that are in the NFL, a lot of the men that are like, I love seeing their tunnel outfits, their revival outfits. So fashion is just a thing. I just love seeing all the different, just the styles. Some of the styles are a little wonky for me, but you know, you have like Odell Beckham when he walked, you know, when he was at the Met Gala. You got Joe Burrow just walked in Fashion Week. You got so many different athletes really extending themselves into fashion because it's a way to express themselves outwardly. So I want to know, do you have any favorite fashions that you've seen? I mean, you can't say ever, but it's like ever. But like, what are your favorites? I wonder if we're one and the same there.
I'm gonna just within the past few years, 2 years. Ty Young. Okay. The way that woman puts her clothes, like the way her sneakers, I wear heels all the time. I wear heels, I wear flats. I own 3 pairs of sneakers, and they both all 3 of them are thick. But hers is like, dang, like you make me want to be a sneakerhead, and I will not put the commitment. Because I will not trade my heels for a sneaker. But like,
I mean, you don't have to necessarily. Okay,
so she's like boom. But the men's side, Justin Jefferson. He stayed iced up. Okay, he stayed fresh, and then
I can see that.
Just the way that Hermes and Louis Vuitton just be dressing him and styling him, I'm just like.
But he has a perfect stature. Like he's super tall. The skin tone. He can wear whatever he wants. Honestly, God. Literally wears whatever he wants. Two of my favorite. Stephon Diggs does put it on. He does put it on.
Yes, he does.
He always shows up and shows out. But also Von Miller. For Von Miller to be that big stocky guy.
Yes.
Like when he wore the Beyonce Alien Superstar outfit that's from Ivy Park. The silver, that's probably one of my favorite ones so far. This is where I was going to put it. But, I mean, I love the fact that fashion is incorporated in that. I like to do Gridiron Glam on the show. So it's like one of my segments that I do on the show as well. So, I personally enjoy it. So,
before we move that segment, I want to definitely bring out Tyrod Taylor. Tyrod Taylor is also one that can
from
get
the
dressed.
757.
Get dressed and will
surprising.
It's that's how much is his runway. Yeah, and he eats it every single time. Yeah, I just want to give him that shout out because I give props where they belong.
Tyrod, if you ever watch this show, we are fans of your fashion.
You eat
it up, right? Yeah. Okay. So I mean, we're about to wrap the show and everything. Thank you for being here on the Ladies Room. Really something new that I wanted to incorporate into this show because I feel like women's perspective, talking about sports, and then just getting the things that we enjoy. I think that's important to put there. So I would just say, how we end this off. I want to know right now what team or 2 teams do you think are going to make it to the Super Bowl this year? It's hard. You gotta think about it. Yeah, think about it.
Okay. NFC?
It's hard.
Vikings.
Okay.
AFC? I'm not going with the obvious one.
I feel like Vikings Chiefs.
Yeah, that's the obvious one. I'm going to go with Texans.
Texans. Okay. Well, there's that. Okay.
That's my obvious pick. Because obvious, of course, you go with the Chiefs. And then but then again, hold on, I got to take back the Vikings pick because that can go bad.
Real fast, but they're doing pretty good.
I don't see the community. I just don't see it. Yeah, I'm going to go with Vikings and Texans. To be different.
I like it, though.
Yeah, to be different.
I like it, though. I don't know if Mahomes and them are going to like it, but
they don't.
We like it. But, yeah.
I probably get a TikTok about me.
this girl right here, that we got receipts. You know, Travis Kelce becoming. We got receipts.
Oh yeah, I want lumberback Travis. I'm cool.
Listen, okay. I had a whole segment about him, about his attire and everything.
Yep.
Yeah, but once again, thank you so much for coming on the couch.
Thank you
Give me a hug.
me.
Yes, I love it, love it, love it. Make sure you guys are watching the V Report. She comes on weekly. Sometimes she has my previous co-host on her show too. He did start there, so I let her. She can have him back. She can have him back. But obviously we share him. But obviously, please make sure you're keying in, liking, sharing, and subscribing. I'm about to give you a whole bunch of information now. So you're going to like, share, and subscribe, and follow not only at PG Love Sports, MTMV Sports, and now we got the V Report. So make sure you're doing what needs to be done. Lock in. As always, I'll see you guys next week, next show. Make sure you're here on YouTube, 7:30 on Thursdays. Without further ado, I will see you guys next time. Bye.